Hello everybody, my name is Daryl Triplett. You guys know me as Officer Keep It Real, but tonight we're here to talk about a very special woman. Actually, two special women. One woman is my wife, Lisa Triplett. You know her from her various companies that we own, Air 911, Security Company, Presidential Limos, Cash My Check. The list goes on and on and on. She's a real entrepreneur. Tonight, we're going to meet the woman who raised Lisa Triplett, the one and only Angela Baily. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this quick station identification, and we're going to meet the legendary Angela Baily. And we're back, everybody. My name is comedian Daryl Triplett, and I'm here with my mother-in-law, the one, the only, Angela Baily.
Hello there.
How are you? How are you?
I am good.
Oh my God. Well, we got a lot to talk about this evening. I mean, we have just a ton of stuff to talk about. And it's going to be surrounding, as you know, your daughter and, her successes, as well as maybe even some failures in there or whatever. But first, I want to get into, because, they say behind every great man is a great woman. And I know behind every great person, there is a great mother story behind them. So I want to get just in a little bit to you, Mama, and y'all got to excuse me. I call you Mama. I don't call you Angela, because you deserve that respect. You Mama to me. You will always be Mama. And that's just a respect level that we've always had. And you've always introduced me and always introduced me as son, no matter what. And from me to you, I want to thank you for making me feel so welcome into your home.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it here. I want to know, and I'm sure our viewers want to know, because this is being pitched to networks to do a reality show of Meet the Triplets, and I'm sure people want to know out there. So what is Angela Baily like? What do you like to do?
I love being with the family.
Mm-hmm.
I love to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Love music. Love to dance.
Love to dance.
Love to dance.
So where did the love to dance come in part of that? Because when I see Mama today, it is the quiet and reserved mother-in-law that anyone would expect to see. So where does the love to dance come in at?
Have always. My mom loved to dance. There was always music in the house. Love to go out, hang with the grown folks.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Wow. So it's embedded in your blood then.
Oh yes.
Wow. So tell me, so Mama, let's just jump right into it here. Talk to me about dating, your views on dating.
My views on dating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at this point in my life, I don't have time for somebody to get their stuff together. At this point, it should already be together. And if not, don't waste my time.
So, one of the things that Lisa and I often talk about and joke about that, we're always teasing if you like younger men or whatever. And, it would be so funny to have a younger man to call, that Lisa would have to call daddy or something like that. What are your thoughts on something like that?
Well, I am not a cougar.
No cougar here.
No cougar here. I cannot date anyone my children's age group. You need a real man.
So what kind of man do you like? If there had to be a perfect man that you can build, what man would you build?
Okay. First of all, he would be good with his hands, if you know what I mean. But he would be a self-starter, very Christian man, family-oriented, work, know how to fix things, don't have to pay somebody to do everything, that know how to take care of home.
And most importantly, he would have to pass a very scrutinized background check from your son-in-law.
Oh, yes.
We got to know who coming up in our house here. We can't have no thieves.
That's it.
So, you've worked for a very, very long time, and you've worked since you were very, very young. And we're going to get into the children. You have 3 offsprings, and I want to get into that a little heavy later on. But right now, I really want to talk about how did it all start? Where did it, because everything has to originate from somewhere. Where did it all, take me back to the day where it all started.
Well, I've always been around strong women. My mother, my grandmother, who lived to see 96, were strong women, worked hard for everything they got. So I knew what I had to do when I had children. It wasn't about me partying, hanging out with my friends. I worked. I took care of my family. I cooked. Didn't do fast foods. Didn't go to McDonald's and all this. I cooked a full meal, breakfast, worked, homework. Family always came first.
So from transforming from, so you are in the, well, tell us, what do you do?
I'm a nurse technician.
Okay, so you are in the helping business, the community helping business. So you help and help people restore their lives at some of the most traumatic points in their lives.
Well, I love taking care of people. I have always did that. I was always the one, if somebody got sick at home, I was always the one to help take care of them. My grandmother was really ill when I was in high school. I signed myself out of school so I could move in with her and take care of her. She couldn't see, she couldn't do anything for herself. So I stayed there until she got her sight back. She had a couple of brain tumors. And when she got better, I signed myself back in school and graduated.
Wow. So you've always been in the healthcare, in the healthcare business, and you work for one of the largest healthcare providers just about in the world here in Atlanta. But in the healthcare field, how long have you been into the actual healthcare field business, being paid to provide healthcare services?
35 plus.
Wow. 35 years. And in 35 years, I'm sure you've seen the industry change from the time that you started practically as a child, well, not a child, but as a young adult. Tell me some of the changes that you've seen.
Oh, we've seen a lot of changes. Healthcare. Before, there was even no gloves in healthcare.
Wow.
Doctors walked the halls smoking.
Wow.
In the hospital. But all that has changed, precautions, and also the way they treat employees. Healthcare would always be about taking care of employees. If you was an employee, you didn't have to worry about healthcare, insurance, and different things. But these days, it's just like a business.
Wow. So you've seen the dramatic change from the start and that's just amazing that you say that you can remember when doctors used to walk down the hall smoking a cigarette, not wearing gloves, attending to patients and stuff like that, to where what would happen to a doctor now if he walked down the hall smoking and not wearing gloves, attending to patients?
Never. You wouldn't even know if your doctor smoked. There is none of that in the healthcare anymore. Gloves. We would do things without gloves on back then. But now you won't touch anything without gloves on.
So you obviously have a lot of healthcare experience, and most people say behind every good man there's a good woman. I say behind every good person there's a good mother. And one of the things that I wanted to, I couldn't wait to interview you about was your daughters. And you have 3 siblings that you've birthed over the years. And we're going to talk about them individually. We're going to talk about Lisa, who's your oldest. We're going to talk about Charles, who's your second oldest, and we're going to talk about Tangela, who's your third oldest. But so, I mean, take us back to it, you know, and I'm sorry, I've got to keep calling you Mama in this interview. It's just weird calling you Angie, but take us back to it. I mean, when you found out you were pregnant, what was going through your mind?
Scared to death. Didn't want to tell my mom. How in the world was I going to tell her I was pregnant and still in high school? But I got past that. I went to her, talked to her. She told me, I will stand by you, but that is your baby, not mine.
Wow. And you're, of course, you're perfectly fine with this at this age. You're like, whatever we have to do.
Yes, yes.
So during the pregnancy, walk me through, I mean, I can only imagine being a young lady. Walk me through what you were thinking, like the 9 months that you carried Lisa. It's your first child. I mean, it's you know, you're in a delivery room for how long?
Boy. First of all, when I was pregnant with Lisa, that's when I signed myself out of school because my grandmother was ill. She had 2 aneurysms that burst in her head. So I was living with her while I was pregnant. And when I got ready to have Lisa, 3 days of hard labor.
Oh my God.
Hard labor. But I wouldn't give up not one moment. My sister scared me to death. They was like, Angie, do not let them give you an epidural. You know you can't lay still. You're going to end up being paralyzed. So all these horror stories. When I went into labor, got there, and they asked me to bend over so they could give me this shot in my back, I said, oh no, I can't take that. My sister told me about that shot. I'll end up paralyzed. What did I do that for? You talking about the worst pain ever. I was like, please, can I get something? The doctor looked at me and said, no, it's too late.
So what he said, okay, it's like you're too late. So you're on the ship right now. You got to go ahead and just make this bad boy happen.
It's got to happen.
So you're done. You have, how long was the labor that you were in?
Well, like I said, it was 3 days.
What, 3 days worth
3
of
days
labor?
of labor. Yes.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. That is crazy. Okay, so you have Lisa, Bundle of Joy comes out, mm-hmm. and you're thinking what?
This is the most beautiful baby in the world.
Wow.
This is my baby.
Wow. Is she, you know, I often ask, you know, is she crying? Is she quiet? Is she asleep? You know, what is she doing? It's just being a baby, I guess, right?
Well,
just regular?
know, they made her cry, but Lisa was always, as a baby, she was a quiet baby. Wow. She was never a cry baby.
Wow. Never
cried. I'm like, you just hold her and she'll just lay there and sleep.
Yeah, she's sort of like that today. She's not a crybaby today either.
Not a crybaby.
So as she's growing up, what was so different about her than what you see in most other kids? Was there anything different about her?
Well, Lisa's first birthday party, she was beautiful, but she was not walking yet. And it was another baby at her party, and she was walking so prissy, and she was getting so much attention. Lisa did not like that. Lisa got up and walked that day. Got stuck up under the table, pulled the hair out.
Competition.
Yes. Sat in the cake.
Oh my God. Just a mess.
She was going to get the attention that day. That was her day.
And she got it.
And she got it.
Well, as she's growing up and you're watching your child grow up as a new mother, you're watching her grow up. And so, she, you know, take me through her teenage years. Did you know? I mean, was there any, because, this is, your daughter has done some pretty phenomenal things. She's the owner of Hair 911, which is a major hairline company that has sprung business with one of the biggest retailers in the world, throughout the world. She's a part owner of a major security company. She owns Presidential Limos, Cash My Check Financial Incorporated. I mean, she's done some pretty amazing things. Was there any indication of that in her, teenage years going up to adulthood, that that there was any indication that this was going to happen or springboard off of?
From childhood.
Wow.
From childhood. Lisa have always been smart. Lisa read the dictionary, the encyclopedia. Lisa watched television. She learned how to speak Spanish. Lisa had her first business at 17, lotions and lace, lingerie.
Wow.
Lisa, she knew how to type. She used to go to work with my sister, take a child to work day at the IRS, and she would always be right there, learn keyboarding, computers. The apartments I lived in, at the rent office, she would help after school working in the office, learning how to do the computers there. So she have always been interested in learning. And once she get it, she got it. She don't have to study. She just give her a test, she'll pass it.
Wow. So at the age of 17, when most kids are still trying to find themselves, they're interested in this, that, or the other, you're telling me that she had already had her first business.
Yes.
Wow.
Online, order her lingerie.
Wow. So she's been making money for a very long time.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right. So needless to say, you're proud of her.
Yes.
If you had to give any advice to any young lady out there about the struggles that you've had, what would it be? What would you say to them?
You have to pull it from the inside. Believe in yourself. Trust in yourself. It's going to be a lot of failures, but you don't let that stop you from going forward and doing what you want to do. Because without failure, you won't succeed. You have nothing to bounce back from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you have Lisa, and then ding, all of a sudden, you're pregnant again with Charles this time. Tell me about that pregnancy.
Charles, that was my number one son, whose quote was always, "Mama, I'm going to give you something money just can't buy." I said, "What, Dooney?" "Love, baby. I got love for you, girl." And that right there, and "Mama, I got your back." So now he really had my back. I have my personal guardian angel.
Yes, absolutely. So growing up, how was he as a child going into his teenage years to adulthood?
Charles liked to fight. He was good at it. But he didn't just fight to be fighting. He always protected the underdog. He did not like bullying. So if somebody was being bullied, Charles was coming to the rescue. Always.
Wow. Yeah. A guardian angel, always, just a guardian angel. I never had a chance. This is one of the things that I really wish that could have happened. I really wish I could have got a chance to meet him before he passed. But, I hear so many great stories about him, and, it saddens me that we never got a chance to meet. But, for, you raising a man of that caliber, it all goes back to mama, daddy, and just raising children. And I already know, I'm not surprised because I know what type of woman that we're dealing with here. So it doesn't surprise me one bit, about the children and how they're raised and the good moral ethics that they have. Okay. So you're cruising right along in this thing called life, and then ding, you're pregnant. And this time it's Tangela.
Yes.
And what in God's green earth were you thinking then?
Oh, yes. This is it. This is it. No more. This is the last one. So that's how she got to be Tangela. Angela's last.
Tangela, Angela's last.
That's it.
AKA Angela.
No
That's
more
what,
deliverance.
tell me about, she is just such a character. Just tell me about, let me ask you this. When you had her, you had to know that was a special one.
Oh, yes. My little Cabbage Patch. She looked just like a little Cabbage Patch doll. Big cheeks. Yes.
So watching her grow from basically an infant to going into her teenage years, adolescence to teenage years, how was she like as a sort of let's fast forward to her as a teenager. Give me the good, bad, and the ugly with that.
Tangela was a wonderful child. Very active into the school. She was just into everything. Totally opposite from Lisa and Charles. Tan was more social than the other two. So she really, she had Lisa and Charles ahead of her. I remember a time, Tangela, 5th grade. No, go back. Tangela, kindergarten. Lisa, 5th grade. And Lisa had won all kind of awards at school. Charles had won all kind of awards at school. Tan was in the kindergarten and Tan didn't get any awards. She didn't like that at all. Because when she got ready to go to 5th grade, she was coming home with a lot of trophies.
Wow.
And when she got to 5th grade, Tan had 6 trophies.
Wow.
So she had big shoes to fill. She wanted to be like her big sister and her brother.
Wow.
And she did it.
Wow. So when you look at her today, she's got like 3 degrees.
Yes.
I mean, super duper smart. And I compare my family Tan, Lisa, to other girls that I've ran across in my law enforcement career that hasn't been so lucky to have good parents like yourself. What do you say to that girl out there who's contemplating, I can't make it. I just can't do this. I've got, maybe she has kids, maybe she doesn't have kids, but that find herself in a very difficult situation.
Love yourself. And you take care of yourself, and God will take care of everything else. Put yourself first. You have children, always. When you put your children first, everything else falls into place.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the things that I've always admired about you is that you always have such a upbeat personality. And we've been through some rough times, through deaths in the families, through good times, to great vacations. And you always, even when I'm down sometime, you always find the inspiration to just be upbeat and positive. Where do you get that from?
Well, after working in healthcare for 35 years, I've seen the worst of the worst. And I know any day can be your last day. So I take nothing for granted. I enjoy my family for what it is right now. Good, bad, or ugly, it's mine. And I deal with it. And that is where memories come from.
No, absolutely, yeah. So we've seen this, I hear these stories from Lisa that you were a very strict, disciplined mother, not strict as in a bad way, but really kept them in line. You had to, what I want to know is what I know of Mama or you for 13 years is nothing like she describes when she's growing up. She says, Daryl, it's a total different woman. You don't understand. So, I want to know what makes Angela Baily tick. What pisses you off?
What pisses me off is disrespectful children. People who abuse, neglect elderly. I can't stand it. I love old people and children. You mess with them, you piss me off real bad. They don't deserve it. I don't care what they did in their life. If they did it back then, guess what? It's over. It's done. Get over it. You can't change it. You can't re-raise older people.
They've already sort of paid their dues.
That's it.
Wow. Yeah.
Understand why they are the way they are.
What's the problem with youth today?
No fear. You have to fear something. I was so afraid of my mom. If I didn't have that house clean, I knew what she was going to do to me. So guess what? It was clean. She had to worry. You don't have to tell me twice. You don't have to beat me over the head to make a believer out of me. So it made me a good person. I take care of my own. I take care of my children. I tell my children, if I want something done, I tell you to do it. I expect for it to be there. You don't have to whip a child. Just tone in which you use to get your point across. So they hear that tone, they know. Mama mean business. Let me get up. I'm not going to repeat myself. Say it one time. Any parent should not be begging their children to do anything. Be a privilege that they'll smack them every now and then.
So when you see you're in somewhere, Walmart, grocery store, Kroger's, whatever, you see little Johnny falling out on the floor, calling mama all types of names, maybe hitting their mother, something like that at 3, 4, 5, 10 years old. What goes through your mind?
That parent did not do her job. You cannot raise a child after this. It starts when they start walking and talking. You train them then. You're not going to make them do it then. They don't do it at home. Now you want them to mind because you're in public. They don't mind at home.
So you have grandchildren now. Yes. You have lovely grandchildren. I don't know. How many grandchildren are there now?
10.
There's 10 of them now. So how is that life?
It is lovely. That's the best thing out of having children is grandchildren. And seeing my grandchildren, they take care of me now. They've been trained. They know how to take care of themselves. They know how to cook. They're very respectful. All of them. They look out for grandma. And we still party together. They love to turn up with grandma.
So in closing, we've really taken sort of a quick trip through your life and through the lives of the kids. We've taken even a quick trip through the grandchildren. What do you want the people that don't know Angela Baily to know about Angela Baily?
Angela Baily has a good heart, and she will do anything for anybody. But family always come first. Don't mess with my children. None of them.
Well, on that note, we're going to close up. I want to thank you for taking the time to come and talk to us today here as part of the Officer Keep It Real show. I want to say that I love you very, very much, and I look forward to many more